Good morning, Steiff Gal.
Good morning. Good morning.
Rebekah Kaufman. It is so fun to be here with you. First thing I want to talk about, though, is your dress.
My dress is a dream come true, and it's a wonderful story behind it. So what happened is my sister, who is the creative one and is a wonderful seamstress, called me and said, I need to make your teddy bears some outfits. And I said, that's fantastic. She said, I'm going to take you to the fabric place. And I said, wonderful. So we went to the fabric place, which is a ginormous store just full of fabric, but they also have a bargain basement, which is like downstairs where everything's like a buck a yard. So we went to the fabric place, to the downstairs, because we just needed a little bit, because you know a teddy bear's this big, so we need like this much fabric for the pants and the jacket and all that. And so we're looking for the fabric, and we found some like adorable fabrics with like little mushrooms and little trolls and stuff, which is perfect for teddy bears. And I'm just like wandering about, and I see this fabric, and it's in the discount bin. It's like a buck a yard. I'm madly in love with the fabric. Can you see it?
Yes, so we're going to look at it. Look at it, everybody. It has little, are you going to call them kokeshis almost? They are so
they're
cute.
They're little beautiful Asian girls doing everything we all love to do. Hang out, play with cats, go on a picnic. Can you see?
Oh, it's so much fun. The first thing I complimented you on today was your dress, because it's so much fun and so perfect.
Okay, and
I love it.
And I'm gonna like show a little leg, if that's okay. Don't show too much leg. Look at the lining.
Oh, the lining's amazing. Oh, it's perfect.
So there was just enough of this fabric for like 2 yards, so I bought it. And I brought it to my seamstress, and I said, make me a dress that shows the most amount of this fabric that would be like the most adorable for this type of material and such. And this is what she came up with.
It's perfect. It's very you.
So thank you. I love this dress, and it's a perfect dress for a summer afternoon, a summer morning like today.
Today is a beautiful day to be bad to the bone.
We are bad to the bone.
We are bad to the bone.
Can you tell?
Yes, we are here up here in our wonderful green room that is provided by Billy Harris, and we are going to talk Steiff dogs.
We are going to talk Steiff dogs. Now, if you remember a previous conversation we had, we talked about Steiff miniature dogs and cats, and everybody seemed to love that, and the dogs seem to really resonate with people because they are so terrific with dolls, especially boy dolls, girl dolls. Everybody loves a Steiff dog. So because everyone seemed to have a lot of interest, I decided to take from my collection 6 really beautiful dogs that all span a very specific period. That's just after World War II through like the early 1960s. And these, I think, were Steiff's beautiful, beautiful dogs, have such structural integrity, such beautiful designs, tell a wonderful story about product design and evolution. And I just wanted to share these beauties with you and tell you why they're so beautiful and why they're so special, and suggest that you might consider adding some of these dogs to your collection to show with your dolls or for your Steiff collection, because they're in my collection and I love them.
Love them, love them. And you know how much of a dog person I am. I think every doll needs a dog.
Or 2.
Or 2. Or
3.
10.
You have 3. I have 2. It's all good.
Yes, well, I have 3 dogs, so and a lot of people watching are dog lovers. I love that you have all different breeds of dog down here. I'm not seeing any poodles.
I didn't bring a poodle because I believe I've shared
We've
that
done
with you in the
poodles.
past.
Yes,
oh,
we have.
I think we have done poodles.
We did a whole program on poodles.
In a big way, which is awesome. So let me start. I'm going to go oldest to newest.
Perfect.
All right? So
Yes.
it's a timeline. So I would like to show you something that's absolutely precious from my collection. And this is the absolute smallest size Foxy Terrier. Okay?
Oh, look at his shading's fantastic.
Well, he's like new. Now, I want to just give you some reference. So here's my hand. I'm like a normal sized lady's hand. So you see he's like really tiny.
Tiny.
He's 7 centimeters. And there's a couple of things that make him really spectacular. So first of all, obviously, it's his size. And ironically, for collectors, and you probably note this yourself, for those listening out there, the smaller something is, the more precious it is, and probably the more you want it, except when it comes to diamonds. You want a bigger diamond,
Yes.
but you want a smaller Steiff. And so these are really, really rare. This actual size was only made in 1949 only. So, but these were made in 11 sizes from 7 to 36 centimeters through 1975. But this is the absolute earliest post-war.
1949 only.
Now let me show you a couple things that make him fabulous. Look at his very early red imprinted chest tag.
Yes.
He was called Fox, and he was called Foxy a few years later. And the other thing that's really fabulous about him, and I don't know if you can get this, but his ear tag, and I've pinned it down because it's a little loose, so this is a pin, but it's made out of a white linen material.
Look at that.
And a very early, and you can see the numbers correspond to his size of 7 centimeters. But this is a really interesting chest tag because it has, and Rachel, I don't know if you can get this. You can see the lines in the tag. Can you get that? So you see it's a background, but you can see it has like veins.
Yeah, oh yeah, we can see that very well. Yes.
Veins of thread. And that's a really, really early post-war. And if you see an ear tag like that, it probably indicates a very early post-war production because Steiff used what they had on hand or inexpensive materials, and that is a very early post-war.
He is absolutely darling. I love the shading on the eye.
It is.
That's my favorite part about him, I think. So cute.
He's fabulous. He's not jointed. It's very hard to make something jointed this tiny. But he's just precious.
Sweet little guy. Look at that face.
Isn't he beautiful?
Yes.
He's beautiful. He has such integrity and the thing about him that's amazing is look at the condition. Oh, the other thing, of course, I'm sorry. I guess I need another cup of coffee. The Made in the U.S. zone tag. And this was put in items that technically left the factory from 1947 through about 1952, although I actually see these mostly on items that were produced like 1949, 1950 through 1952. And this means it was produced in a factory that was overseen by U.S. troops to make sure no military production was happening in that factory, which obviously it wasn't because they were making toy dogs, etc. Anyway, here's a beautiful and pristine example
of the
smallest Fox Terrier, one of the most beloved Steiff dogs created.
Sweet little guy.
Sweet little guy. All right, we're gonna move on.
Here's the wonderful selection we have today.
Right. I'd like to now share with you a wonderful little dog named Cocky. This guy came in the line from 1951 through 1959. And he came in 7 sizes from 10 to 30 centimeters. And this is the smallest size. And let me show you again my hand so you can see how big he is. And again, he has just beautiful, beautiful face. Now look, one of the things that's beautiful about smallest sized dogs and earlier dogs is oftentimes you'll see velvet features to give them a more useful touch. So she has an absolutely beautiful velvet muzzle, and look at the coloration. It's amazing.
It's very well done, yeah.
And
I love the open mouth.
Yep, open mouth. And look at the quality of the construction. The jowls are 3-dimensional. And look, someone like got in there and airbrushed. I can't even see that small, and someone did such a gorgeous job. And the freckles. They're just beautiful.
He looks like a cartoon.
He's just so happy.
Yes, he is.
He's so happy. He has all his ID. Again, the red imprinted chest tag, implying it's from the very early 50s. And she's got her button.
Perfect.
And her very early. And again, you can see this here with my hands maybe. And this particular chest ear tag has some German words on it, which imply it is very early post-war. There's German, means like the original design in German over here. Anyway, just beautiful, glass pupil eyes, head jointed.
What a fun dog.
Isn't she beautiful?
Love her.
Isn't she lovely? And Cocker Spaniels are absolutely beloved by Steiff collectors, and many, many dogs in the Steiff line are named Cocky, but this is, I think, my favorite Cocky because she's always happy.
She is so happy.
Like us. Beautiful, beautiful.
I love it.
Now I'm going to show you a wonderful, I love this guy. This guy is so full of character. Okay, this guy is named Beppo.
He is bad to the bone.
This one is totally bad to the bone. Now look, this one's a little bit bigger. This is the smallest size Beppo. Beppo came, I believe, in 2 sizes. Is that right? Yes. 10 and 17 centimeters. This is the 10 centimeter. And that basically means 10 centimeters this way. And unlike the other dogs I'm sharing with you, she's fully jointed. So everything moves and grooves. Dances, bad to the bone. Wonderful red collar and chest tag that says Beppo. And her ear tag. Again, you can see these words, Steiff, and I'm not good at speaking German, but it says original, and this is a German word, and again, this implies a very early post-war. And here's some things that are so fun about this design. The person who designed this had a wonderful sense of humor. Look at the open mouth and the smiling.
And the tongue going off the kind of sideways.
Right. And I'm not a seamstress, and I don't sew, and I don't make toys, but I can only imagine how difficult this was to sew. This isn't easy. This is not a low-cost product. This is not an efficiency product. Imagine like getting all this in there and then putting the tongue in and then airbrushing it.
Amazing.
A beautiful job. Beautiful face. And the fun thing...
I love his eyebrows.
His eyebrows are wonderful. This is a dachshund. But look at the ears. That's not a coincidence. it was supposed to look like he's fun and playing, like his ears are.
Oh, like they're flapping in the wind?
Flapping backwards. So
Oh,
this
how
is
fun.
this is supposed to happen. So if you see a Beppo with ears that are down, not the case, but this is the early Beppo. Just beautiful. And Steiff made a similar dog called Lumpy a few years later, was not jointed. But this is really what I think is a utterly charming early post-war dog with just remarkable personality. Look how much personality they squeezed into this dog.
It's amazing.
He's just beautiful, and lots of people love dachshunds. Many people collect dachshunds, and dachshunds are very popular in Germany. So I'm not surprised that they put a little extra effort into this fabulous example.
Wonderful.
Isn't he beautiful?
Oh, now I want one.
Put them on your wish list. Now I'm going to show you sort of on the go. This is a really, really sweet example. So what we have here is Bazi, and Bazi is on wheels, and he was made in 10 and 14 centimeters on wheels. And these wheels are really fun. Now, this Bazi is so new that I'm not going to take the cord off because it's never been taken off.
Wow.
So what I love about this piece is that it's never been really touched or played with. What I don't love about this piece is that it never got the love it deserves. So I'm giving it the love in the collector's kind of way. So what we have here, you see him, this is the little Bazi, and he is on what's called eccentric wheels. And what that means, can you see this, Rachel? The wheel is not in the center, it's off to the side. And so when he moves along, he actually goes up and down.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
Now, eccentric wheels were discovered by mistake, and I'm suspecting it happened after happy hour with somebody drilling. In about 1912 or 1913, I believe, they were drilling the wheels for something like a duck, and they noticed it was off the center of the axle, but the duck was waddling. And they're like, well, that makes perfect sense. What a wonderful idea. So Steiff produced items both on regular wheels, which would just roll normally, and on eccentric wheels. And some of the younger, smaller items are on eccentric wheels, like ducks and dogs and cats, because it's so cute to see them toddling along. So I also have a goat on eccentric wheels, and I have a pony on eccentric wheels, and they're just so endearing. It just adds yet another layer to why these have such a lifelike and appealing and delightful characteristics. But let me give you a little bit more information about Bazi. He has his original blue collar, and he's got his button, and his bell.
And his bell.
And he's fully ID'd. Fully ID'd.
Again, he has wonderful shading. Right. These examples just have fabulous shading.
And he was designed to go on eccentric. Let me see if you can get this. On his ear tag, can you see?
Yes, we can.
What does that say?
Well, from here it says Steiff, but I can't see the...
It says EX, meaning eccentric wheels.
Oh, awesome.
So this piece was designed with eccentric wheels. And that's one of the ways you can tell if you buy something on wheels, if it may or may not be original to the wheels. Not always the case, but it's one tip to see, like does it say eccentric wheels? And you can see where the wheels are attached to the body, very simply, with just a couple of stitches.
Oh, that is such a great tip.
Right. To look for the ID.
I'm
Sometimes
remembering
they
that
don't.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's been my experience that most of the smaller pieces, like 14, 15 centimeters and under, can be on eccentric wheels. It would be awkward to have something a little bit larger on eccentric wheels, but sometimes they do. But the smaller ones on eccentric wheels have a toddler-esque quality that makes them perfectly scaled and perfectly adorable. So here's a sweet little Bazi. He's head jointed.
Jointed head, perfect.
So he can give you...
He's on the go.
He's on the go.
He reminds me of us out here.
Yes.
I'd like to have a pair of wheels underneath me, though.
I would too. I would too. All right, now I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit later. This is Biggie, and Biggie was made in 10, 17, and 25 centimeters from 1958 through 1961. And this is a great example of Biggie. And what you're going to start to see, starting in the late 50s, early 60s, is sort of a simplification of the dogs over time. So the dogs that I've shown you, the Cocky and the Beppo, had wonderful colorations and very detailed mouths and ears that were specially formulated and such to give them a, sort of a very playful look. This is an absolutely charming dog, but no, he is not jointed. And he's a little bit simpler construction. And that's one of the things you're going to see over time with Steiff, or probably most companies that make soft plush toys, is they simplify over time. Because at the end of the day, Steiff is a business. They have to make money. They have to create efficiencies. And creating things that are less complicated with less jointing and less detailing is as lower overhead costs and such. Anyway, he's still absolutely precious and one of the most beloved patterns of the early post-war. And one of the things that make him really extraordinary, especially in this small size, is the way these oversized glass pupil eyes. These are hand-blown.
Wow.
And they're in the shape of almonds. You see that?
Fabulous.
And they're white, brown, and black with beautiful.
They really give him a lot of
Don't they?
personality, a lot
They
of
do.
pop.
And
Makes him
that's
look
the
very
thing.
happy.
It's a simple dog, but they do a wonderful job with airbrushing, which again is a wonderful way to add color and detail and contrasting without a lot of cost or money.
Right.
So it's a simple dog, little sass here, and these wonderful eyes to catch you and capture you.
Fantastic.
Isn't he wonderful?
Love him.
He's beautiful. So that's Biggie. Okay.
Biggie.
Biggie. And the last dog I'm going to share with you was produced from 1960 through 1969. And this is a wonderful, wonderful collie. This collie was produced in 12 centimeters. This is a small size. And also in 22 centimeters, a sitting size. And what I love about him as well is the wonderful use of a happy, smiling
He's
face.
just fabulous.
And what I love about him is how they used fabrics to create his interest and to make him so realistic. And if you have a collie or love collies, he really does look like a collie with the contrast of the hair, long, fluffy tail, beautifully shaped limbs. But see, he's not jointed, so that creates an efficiency. And his detailing comes from his fabrics,
love
his airbrushing.
the hair and the fluffy hair in the front.
fluffy.
It's just
And one of the things that's very
wonderful.
special about him, and again, it's the Steiff using of fabrics, is the material behind his ears is velvet. So that adds a beautiful, elegant touch and sort of a baby-like touch at the same time. He has a nice face.
He looks like he's laughing.
He
I
is.
love how the tongue's sticking
Right.
straight out.
He does. He does. You can't help but love him.
Oh, I know.
And again, his work is a little easier because just for contrast, to show about the efficiencies, when you look at the Cocky, his bottom lip is three-dimensional and it's sewn and it's stuffed. Okay? Beautiful work. This collie, again, has an open smiling mouth, but it's made out of felt. So there's far less work. So it's Steiff's way. Again, it's not any way to be judgmental. I'm just trying to teach you the sort of the timeline and evolution. It's much easier to sew in a single layer of felt and put a line around it than to create a pocket and stuff it and put it in there. Creating efficiencies while still creating a beautiful product.
He's fabulous.
Isn't he
I couldn't
beautiful?
even pick one. They're all so great. He is.
And they all are from the period from the very late 1940s to the 1960s, which I think is Steiff's finest post-dog period. And this time when they created these miniatures that really are extraordinary. They have so much appeal to dog collectors, Steiff collectors, miniature collectors, people who love dogs. Some of my customers don't even collect Steiff. They just collect bulldogs. And so Steiff does such beautiful work, so they add those to their collections.
It's just fabulous. Steiff Gal Rebekah Kaufman. What a treat to be bad to the bone with you this morning.
Bad to the bone.
Yes, and learn about these wonderful dogs from your private collection.
From my private collection, this was prepared exclusively for our visitors and listeners.
Yes, you brought them to Nashville just for our program and to create this content for us. I personally learned so much, and I know everyone out there learned a lot. I love the information about the tags and the different details that we can just look at off the bat to quickly identify something if we're out, even at a thrift shop or, anywhere you could go to have this knowledge. So thank you.
My pleasure. And Teddy hugs to everyone
Teddy
as always.
hugs. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.